Mandeep, why it's so crucial we have you on the show is you cover the full spectrum of mega cap tech. $4 trillion for Nvidia, what would be supporting that valuation?
Yeah, look, every data point that we have tracked this quarter has been supportive of estimates going up. The latest one being Micron talking about, how their HBM sales continue to ramp up better than expected. And when it comes to inferencing, clearly the trend of, spending more compute at the time of query, the reasoning capabilities that these models have added, especially with OpenAI O series, what that has done is really reinforce compute demand tied to inferencing. And that, to me, is what's driving this wave of, enthusiasm around NVIDIA's runway, because the $200 billion number for this year, clearly there's a line of sight, even when you take out all the China revenue, which they did, with the guide in the last quarter. And so the question is, how much will they grow next year? And right now, consensus is around $250 billion. So with sovereigns coming into play, especially Middle East, and now Jensen being in Europe, you feel like, they have line of sight to that revenue as well. And that's why, the multiple seems to be expanding here.
Okay, the stock's at just below $157 per share. I was doing the math with the team, and I think that $164 per share, or just below it, would get us to $4 trillion of market cap. Nvidia was the first chip maker to hit $1 trillion of market value, and of course it's gone well beyond that. But there are headwinds, and I think what Mandeep would be helpful to the audience is to explain what's the threat to Nvidia. Some of it is the custom silicon that the hyperscalers are looking at. But there are other players in the market. AMD will have something to say about this monopoly that Nvidia currently holds.
Yeah, and that's why, Nvidia opening up its platform, the NVLink, now supporting other chips, was such a big move and coming in at a great time, because now they are saying you can get Broadcom gear, but we'll be able to integrate it with our NVLink. And that's where the opening up of ecosystem, I think it's a very wise move. And that helps Nvidia, because all the investment that companies are making in Nvidia stack now can support some other chips. So with that being said, look, the numbers are getting bigger and bigger. So you kind of think, yes, Nvidia is a durable monopoly, but for how long, given, all the other factors that you just described. But for right now, it feels like they clearly are executing very well on that front.